because as you know, we have a collective contract to experience planetary ascension, a group effort. That being said, however, it does still feel a little bit unique for each and every one of us. And that's why I am tuning into this topic of light body upgrades, very generally speaking, because I want to sort of bring forward any of the ways that you might be experiencing it. Welcome to Activations with JJ. In today's episode, I'll be discussing all the different light body upgrades we're going through right now, as well as a little more detail around soul integration and how that affects your ascension journey. I'm excited to connect with you today in these topics, so let's get going. Greetings, beautiful souls. Love starting off with a little bit of light language. Oh, we're here. We're here. Take a deep breath. This is not a regular podcast. This is a container that we get to co-create in and that we get to hold space for different awareness to drop in. So sometimes we got to get the body on board. We want to be fully present. Very excited to be here with you today. I'll be discussing some of my very favorite topics to cover, including but not limited to multidimensional soul integration. Some of you have heard me speak about this modality over the last few years, and there's always something new dropping in as I continue to learn more and more about it. So that's something fun I'm going to share with you, as well as information around the light body upgrades that we're currently experiencing. And they're coming in many different ways. They're actually connected to multidimensional soul integration, or the integration of soul aspects, really the convergence and merging and sort of the harmonizing of parts of ourselves from all different places, all different timelines. It's really an incredibly powerful period of time that we are in at this very moment. Many of you felt the energies that came through, starting with the Lionsgate portal through September, and now we've landed a little ways into October. And as I mentioned in the October monthly energy update, we are absolutely preparing for a great deal of expansion. And it's going to come fast, and it's going to be really, I want to say fun, because I want to set that intention. Our ascension journey gets to be however we want to create it. We are not locked into something beyond our control. And that realization is so very, very important as we navigate the collective energies that are coming forward at this time. We are standing in our sovereignty, in our I am presence, but in a unified way, so that we can all step into unity consciousness, so that we can all transition into the frequency of the new earth together. Because as you know, we have a collective contract to experience planetary ascension, a group effort. That being said, however, it does still feel a little bit unique for each and every one of us. And that's why I am tuning into this topic of light body upgrades, very generally speaking, because I want to sort of bring forward any of the ways that you might be experiencing it, in hopes that you can feel validated or not alone on this journey. If you are listening on YouTube, you can also drop in the comments below and share what you're personally experiencing with regards to this topic of light body upgrades. Now, transitioning into that, I'm just tuning into our collective higher selves. And many of you know what has been coming through over the last little while for me personally, and I feel like I'm tuning into the collective, is this idea of the plasmic energy. So the light bodies, the structure, let me put it this way, the structure of the light bodies, and there are more than one layers. There's more than one layer of your light body. I have tuned into many different layers of the light body. And just like you have many grids or systems in your physical body, you have a network of nerves. You have a network of the circulatory system, your veins and your arteries. You have networks of fascia and ligaments and all kinds of things. It's just the same with your light body. And so different parts of your light body are created or are there to hold different frequencies, different kinds of substances, predominantly these plasmic materials, I'll put it that way, the plasma, because it's been interesting too, as I did the quantum integration sessions I did those in August and September. What I felt was a lot of this plasmic energy coming through, but it was not all the same for everybody. So I felt like a diamond crystalline energy, a blue sapphire energy, a golden energy. Those are the three main ones that came through for people over the last little while. I've actually been tuning in and seeing other people post about the blue, the gold, and sort of the diamond or white color. And it's so fascinating to see that this is synchronistic for all of us. We're all kind of tuning in similar ways. So with regards to the particular part of your light body that is continually evolving and receiving more expanded energies, more like higher frequency energies, you may be going through one or the other or simultaneously both. And this is important to notice as we continue to become more and more aware of these layers of our body so that we can work with them and really do whatever practices will best support their optimal functioning. So I kind of want to just tune in to our guides and higher selves and bring through more information about this. Predominantly feeling drawn to connect with the bones as like our light body skeletal system is coming forward. And actually bone marrow has been a theme in the last couple of months in some of my different podcast episodes, channeled messages in my community, as well as the Q&A gatherings that I do. So I'd like you to just tune into your bone marrow, but also your energetic light body marrow. And what I am feeling is just as our physical bone marrow serves a function to create a particular type of cell or cells, the light body, quote unquote, bone marrow is able to do the same. I see the merging of elements within that aspect of the light body coming together to help us self-produce or self-sustain the plasmic energy. Very, very interesting how it's coming in. And I feel that as you tune in to your own light body, you can actually establish a way and a form of communication where you are listening and then responding. And so right now, just taking a moment to form that connection. I am hearing solar energy is very, very beneficial right now for that particular part of our light bodies. I feel the Lyran star family coming in and offering their support to this part of your light body. So just taking note of that and setting the intention that you can continue to connect this way. Beautiful. That does feel more like the golden frequencies. So transitioning now, let's tune into another part of our light bodies. I'm seeing light pink energy. That's a little bit new for me. And I'm feeling the Venusian guides stepping forward. So Venusian guides are Hathors and Sanat Kumara, Lady Venus. No. This is a very delicate part of our light body. It feels kind of lacy. Like very delicate arteries would be spread throughout the body. Predominantly, I'm seeing this grid around the heart. So just placing your hand on your heart and allowing yourself to establish that same connection that you just did with the bone marrow, but the light body bone marrow. A different frequency of the same thing, as above, so below. Just taking a deep breath. What does this part of your light body need from you? I'm feeling the need for better breath is what I'm hearing. More breath, better breath, like take deeper breaths, focus on the breath. So I would encourage you to establish a regular type of breath work, whatever resonates with you. You do not have to follow a specific kind. You can just use your intuition, but do it on a regular basis. And again, calling in the Venusians, all the different Venusians that would like to step forward. I feel several actually in the field. I feel Kuan Yin in addition to the ones I mentioned too. And they are just like the Lyrans. They're like, we're here. We can help you. So beautiful. Okay, we'll go ahead and finish up that. And then I'm going to bring in one more part of the light body. That is a big focus right now. I'm seeing blue. It does look like blue veins of energy. I imagine this is the system of the light body, the grid of the light body that is holding and allowing to course through it the blue plasma energy. And I have the blue avian stepping forward to assist here. And they're inviting you to respond by vocalizing in a similar way that you just heard. Just, you can repeat what I do, or if you have a light language that's similar. I'm feeling upper chakras. I'm feeling third eye, crown, and a little above the throat. I feel it's like the lymph nodes. For some reason, that's what's coming in. The lymphatic system. Maybe it's connected to what could be considered the energy body's lymphatic system. At least that's what I'm being shown. So I imagine it's spread throughout the whole body, but I was just tuning into the upper areas. So taking a deep breath, you can probably receive more through your own channel just by setting the intention right now to connect with this grid of your energy body carrying the blue plasmic energy. So tuning in like you did for the other two. And for this one, I am hearing the best way to support, one of the best ways to support, is by being more conscientious about the water that we are ingesting, making sure that the water is activated or energetically calibrated. I'm not going to be specific on what that looks like. A lot of people are finding ways to enhance our water, and there are many different products out there that can do that. Intention, though, and light language is also very powerful. So that is this blue plasmic set of conduits for our light body. Wonderful. Just taking a moment to thank your body. It's never a bad time to thank your body. It's always in alignment to say, thank you, physical vessel, for what you do right now. Fantastic. Okay. Woo, that was awesome. Take a deep breath with me and let's land in the next topic for today's episode, today's adventures. It has to be adventures because then our inner children are like, yeah, let's do adventures. This ascension stuff doesn't have to be serious. But what I am actually feeling is to share with you some things that have dropped in regarding multidimensional soul integration. And I'm very excited because I do offer this as a hybrid group and one-on-one container 2 times a year. I also do certification for the modality. It just so happens that this fall, I have felt drawn to wait and hold off on that and offer it in the spring instead because there's new stuff coming in. There's new stuff coming in for the modality. It is ever changing. It is always reinventing itself according to the energies of the collective and what the collective can do. So for those of you who are new, let's say, the multidimensional soul integration modality came to me as I was reflecting on a lot of Dolores Cannon's work. So the Convoluted Universe books were some of my go-to resources when I just barely had my awakening to the multidimensionality, like aliens and things like that, other lifetimes. Before that, I did have a pretty strong connection with spirit and angels and, my higher self, but there was a whole opening there for, wow, look at all the flavors, look at all the variety that there is, all the experiences that we've had. And so then as I was reflecting on the way that we could access our past lives, it dropped into my awareness. There was another step to it. And it's actually a step that is not that foreign to those who are way showers, who are in this work. It's somewhat similar and can be comparable to soul retrieval, but the difference, and that's a predominantly shamanic piece, but the difference is rather than retrieving parts of us that most likely were fragmented due to trauma or due to a shocking, experience. These are soul aspects who have developed a certain set of gifts, wisdom through their lifetimes, and just like Source, from whom we fractalized, this is an infinite fractalization. And this infinite fractalization has an ebb and a flow. The rhythm, the law of rhythm. You expand and you contract. You expand and you contract. We are in a season of calling in these different soul aspects to integrate and to be basically activated in our current timeline in this particular human existence because we need their skill set. We need their abilities. One of the reasons that we incarnated so many times in so many different lifetimes is to be able to bring together all of those things when the whole team is needed. The whole team is needed right now. I've never quite explained multidimensional soul integration this way, but there are so many experiences, stories that I've heard over the last few months that are making it very abundantly clear. We are needing to bring online as many of our gifts as possible. And time is of the essence. Now, sometimes I say time is not of the essence, but because we're outside of time and space. But we have the ability to do this in a way that facilitates a quantum leap. So that means a lot of movement in a short amount of time. Stuff is building up to allow us to be propelled there. And in order for us to be propelled to that octave or frequency as a planet, as a collective, and individually, we are needing, again, to gain an awareness, a remembrance, and a literal cellular activation of all of these abilities that we have honed over the last several lifetimes. Now, these lifetimes that typically are integrated throughout this few years that I've been doing the modality are very different. Very different. They're not all the same. Some are human, some are elemental, some are galactic, some are angelic. And this modality is not new. This is something that the Egyptians did, the Atlanteans did, where rather than taking on you the veil of forgetting, which you do when you're born to a certain degree, but these indigo children, these rainbow children are coming without the veil. They're already ready. They don't need soul integration as much as some of us do. But they're stepping forward with all that remembrance. Soul integration is kind of like going back and doing that for ourselves and removing those veils of forgetting. Most of this comes in a subconscious and essentially, like I said, through cellular remembrance. And there is a piece of this that is done in the Akashic record. So the process that I take people through, one that is unique to me and my experience, and typically, obviously, as you're a light worker, you're going to call in people into your field and to work with you that resonate with what you do. So I can only safely assume that the modality, the way I do it, is the way that, my soul family or that would resonate with people. But the way I do it, we go into the Akashic records and we call in the soul aspects. We actually intuit these soul aspects that would like to step forward. It might be an Egyptian priestess aspect. It might be a Lemurian mermaid. It might be an Arcturian. And what you will notice is that your guides oftentimes are those soul aspects. So what I've found is that I walk people through this when we first tune in to find out who the soul aspect is that they're integrating. It becomes very clear it has been a guide. It's them. It's actually part of them. So that's the fun. Something new that has come forward around this modality, and for the cohort that I have starting shortly in just a couple of weeks here in October 2024, we'll be going through the last part of October, first part of November on this journey. I have really felt the presence of two guides stepping forward. One is White Buffalo Calf Woman. And when I first started soul integration, our guide was Green Tara. As time went by, in the last maybe 12 months, I felt White Tara step through. And as I tuned in for this cohort that I have coming up, I felt White Buffalo Calf Woman, which was so fascinating. She's been in my field ever since we've connected with the Lionsgate portal and all of this big convergence. Soul integration is a reflection of this great period of convergence of the parts of ourselves. So it made sense that White Buffalo Calf Woman would step forward to overlight this soul integration cohort. Now, if you have had her in your field, it might symbolize for you that you are ready to do soul integration, whether you do it with my cohort, with this group that I have, or you simply set that intention and work with your own guides on it, right? The second guide that stepped forward for this cohort of multidimensional soul integration was Archangel Metatron. Archangel Metatron, and I know he's been working with a lot of you out there. I have several friends working with the Merkaba. And what I was shown is that this cohort is going to be different than any other one I've ever done. They're all different, but this one's going to be vastly different because our Merkaba abilities are being amplified and have been amplified since I did my last cohort, which is really fascinating. That was only like 6 months ago. So if you've really been sensing your personal Merkaba and it has come to the forefront for you, it could also signify that you are preparing for multidimensional soul integration. It's essentially creating that foundation to facilitate a lot of ease in the integration process. If I reflect on it, when I first started doing soul integration, it did feel like a more laborious process. And I felt like we really had to work through some parts of the energy body that weren't quite there. But as time has gone by, I have noticed people's bodies changing and the process can become more rapid, which is so incredible. Just seeing and feeling like this is a living modality that's constantly evolving to serve the collective better. So those are kind of the really interesting downloads I've gotten about soul integration over this last little while. And if you want to know more about the offering, about this group and hybrid group and one-on-one, I'm not doing multidimensional soul integration outside of this container. None of my sessions, with the exception of sometimes I do them in my one-on-one mentorship, but I'm not doing a ton of that at the moment. So this is it. This is the place. This is the container where you can experience that. Most people that step into multidimensional soul integration are feeling their bodies responding to it with a yes, which is fascinating because, a lot of times as we're considering things, you go through the head and the heart and all the things, and the body's just like, it's a yes. We're really learning to honor the bodies, just like we did a moment ago with our light bodies. So now we've come full circle. When I talk about a topic that I talked about at the beginning and it's the end, now I'm like, it's the end, full circle. We landed. So I want to take a moment and just express my appreciation to you for sitting here with me in this container, and invite you to take a deep breath. Receive what you need, release what you don't need at the moment, or put it on the shelf. Set the intention to plant any seeds that were dropped into your field today that you feel are significant for your personal ascension journey. Any ideas that you think will spark a remembrance or an activation for you. You get to take these seeds. It's just like when my kids come home from school and they do those little styrofoam cup. Well, this is probably old-fashioned. But anyway, back in my day, we did the styrofoam cup and we planted the seed. And of course, the parent has to put it on we have to put it on the windowsill in the sun, and we have to water it. But right now, I've given you those seeds to take and plant and to see what happens there. So thank you, thank you, thank you so much, friends. I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. I'm sending you so much love and reminding you that I am you and you are me and we are we. Until next time. Hello, JJ here, dropping in for just a quick moment to change the channel on you. Sorry, but I have some really exciting news. As of October, there have been some incredible shifts to our starseed community. This is a fabulous group of light workers, grid workers, way showers, and starseeds who are looking to expand their knowledge around all things light language, grid work, as well as cosmic remembrance. We come together once every single week, as well as through a community forum to share and to build this beautiful network of souls so that we don't have to feel alone on our ascension journeys. This incredible community is available to you, and you can join us, people from all over the world, for just $44 a month. I would love to have you co-create with us there. I would love to have you attend those live gatherings and really feel this beautiful power that comes through when we have a common intention to support Gaia and each other on this ascension journey. You can find out more through the link below. It would be such an honor to co-create with you in our Activations with JJ Starseed community.